3, 2, 1.
What up, Falcons Nation? Rise Up Nation, it's your boy Jazzy Jeff. Real talk, no gimmicks, bring that real Falcons talk to real Falcons fans. And if you're new to my channel, welcome. Please hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for future content. Now today I wanted to pay my respects to Ricardo Allen being cut. He's one of my favorite players to ever play for the Falcons. I see a little of me in him. When I played football, I played safety. I wasn't the smallest guy, but I used my knowledge of the game to be a better player. And coming out of Purdue, he was drafted by the Falcons in the 5th round. He got cut. He became a practice squad player. Then he became a starter. Then he became the captain of our defense. So he's kind of the little boy who could story of the Atlanta Falcons. The small guy who used his film study to get ahead. And I just always respected that about Ricardo Allen. I respected how he had tore his Achilles and he bounced back, came back from injury, and it was a heartbreaking tear. And I just love the way this guy plays the game, the way he respects the game. On and off the field, he's a great person. He has great charity, great father. You know, he's just a great person all around. And I got nothing but respect and admiration for Ricardo Allen. So salute to Ricardo Allen. Thank you for playing for the Atlanta Falcons. I appreciate you. Now, moving on, I wanted to talk about drafting his replacement at free safety or going into the free agency. There's obviously two ways to do it. So first, I want to start off with the draft. If you want to go the route of replacing him through the draft. Now, I know a lot of people are talking about Trevor Moehrig out of TCU. I want everybody to understand he's hailed as the best safety in this draft. He's going in the 1st round. We are not going to get a safety in the 1st round. We're not using our 4th pick for a safety. And if it is the 2nd pick, he's going to be already gone by then. So, Falcons fans, I know he's a great player, but let's get Trevor Moehrig out of our system. Now, number 2, you might be looking at Paris Ford out of Pittsburgh. He's a bigger player. He's 190 pounds. He's 6 feet tall. He's more built like Keanu Neal. He plays more at strong safety. His play is just like Keanu Neal as well because he's great at hitting. He's very physical, very aggressive, but he struggles against man coverage. He struggles against tight ends, just like Keanu Neal. So if we were to take a Paris Ford, we would still have to find another player to replace Ricardo Allen, because he's more of a Keanu Neal mold. And in my opinion, I'd rather, if Keanu Neal wants to stay on this team, have a 1-year prove-it deal or a cheaper deal, and then I would take him back on this team. Now, apparently I hear people are saying that he might play for the Cowboys or get a bigger deal. So if we lose Keanu Neal, we're going to replace that position, and we're still going to replace Ricardo Allen's position. So Paris Ford is more if you want to replace it with a strong safety. That leads me to my 3rd guy, Cisco from Syracuse. And to me, he is the Ricardo Allen replacement. He's a ball-hawking safety. He can play in zone coverage. He is coming off an ACL, but other than that injury, his tape, his playmaking skills are off the charts. His play recognition, his awareness. Just because he's a smaller guy doesn't mean he can't play like Ricardo Allen can. He's roughly around the same size, slightly bigger, and so I think that's the type of guy he's going to be looking around the 2nd, 3rd round. If you want to reach a little high for a safety, that's him. He might fall due to his injury. So if he does fall to the 3rd, 4th round, he would be a great steal for the Atlanta Falcons. Now, the 2nd route the Falcons can go to in replacing Ricardo Allen is through free agency. This way is a little more dicey because of our cap hell situation, but I just wanted to take a look at some of the free agents and what they bring to the table and what their market value is, and if it's even worth looking into. So, starting off, we have Anthony Harris from the Minnesota Vikings. His average market value is between 13 and 14 million a year. Now, in my opinion, I don't think that is a game-changing safety enough to spend that money to replace Ricardo Allen. I think a draft would be better. I just don't think we can afford that. So I'm just gonna take that off the board. The next is Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos. His market value is $14 million a year as well, but he has stats comparable to safety Kevin Byard on the Titans and stats comparable to Tyrann Mathieu on the Kansas City Chiefs. So he is statistically up there with those players, but once again, we just don't have the money for that. That leads me to the more reasonable market for the Atlanta Falcons, those $7 million to $8 million a year type players. You know, the Jaquiski Tartt from the Niners, Trey Boston from the Panthers. These are guys who the Falcons can more realistically afford. I understand we all want the top shelf guys, but our cap is not in that position to afford those guys, and I don't think safety is that position where you're going to spend a whole bunch of money, or I want them to spend a whole bunch of money. If we're going to take out, $10 million a year for a player, it better be an edge rusher, a running back, something that I believe is just way more important on our team to fix our team. So those are the type of players I would look for if you're going to go the avenue of free safety and free agency. In my personal opinion, those two guys I listed, Tartt and Boston, they're similar and comparable to Ricardo Allen anyway. So if you're not going to keep Ricardo Allen and you can't spend the big money on free agents, you might as well stick to drafting good players in the draft. I'd say 3rd, 4th, 5th round safety. Get a new guy, cheaper guy, and develop him that way. Another guy you want to look to if you don't want to spend a high draft pick is Ricardo Allen from Georgia Bulldogs. Great playmaker. People love his tape, but they don't like his size, and they say he might be too small to play in the NFL. But I just want to put things in perspective. LeCount is 5'11", 190 pounds, and incomparable to Ricardo Allen, Rico is 5'9", 185. So LeCount is actually bigger and taller than Ricardo Allen. So I think if Rico can make it, I think LeCount is fine. And you know how people are in the draft, they nitpick everything, they want to cut you down, and there's tons of players who have proven that you can still be in the NFL and have a smaller size frame. So I love LeCount and his playmaking ability. I think he would be a great addition and bring him home to Atlanta to play for the Falcons. So tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Please hit that like button. Comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll be here all off season. I also make movie reviews now, so check that out on my channel. Stay tuned for future content. And as always, Falcons Nation, we rise up, and I'm out this thing.